have something growing on there.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 204 of Fibertown. It's November 17th, 2017. It is my daughter's birthday. She's 15 today. Doesn't seem possible. So, yeah, it's a great day here, and I thought I'd sit down and share what I've been up to in my crafty life with you all. My name is Emily. Welcome. All my info is on a little card in the title section, so I hope you are all very well, and you're very welcome to my kitchen. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have my second cup of coffee to the day. This has my motto on it: knit to end. Knit to end, everybody. Yes, so today I have some 2 items of business, and then we're going to do FOs, works in progress, sewing, and acquisitions. I think it might be on the short side today, and I have something in my eye that's bothering me. If I'm blinking a lot, I do apologize. Okay, the items of business. Business. Number 1, Instagram. Instagram has been very odd with me lately. I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you have tagged me on Instagram or done something and I have missed it, it's because I've missed it. I'll see little messages pop up, and I go to look, and there's nothing there. And that's not to say it wasn't there originally, but my feed is completely bizarro. Not only are things out of order, that's been the case for ages, but I'm pretty sure Instagram is making me miss things. It said I've had a personal message, a direct message for weeks, and I do not. And it's not from someone who's not a friend, so you have to allow it. I know how that works. It's just been a little one there. I've even deleted the app and reinstalled it. So if you've messaged me and I haven't gotten back to you, quite possibly it's because of Instagram. But you can reach me other places. Ravelry is a good place to reach me. So yeah. Now the second item of business is about the Woolly Thistle. Claire and I did a bag collaboration where I made some bags for her shop. I made some bags out of hand-woven fabric and some bags out of botanically printed fabric. The handwovens are gone. They were very popular. And so there are a few botanically printed ones left as of now. Today, as I said, is Friday. So if you are interested, I know a few of you have messaged me and wondered when I was going to be making more. You can find them on the Woolly Thistle. Yes, indeed. So right down to FOs, everybody. And you may have heard my friend Alice. There goes my washing machine. Oh my gosh. So interspersed with all the crafty stuff today, I'm going to be talking about my travel last weekend, and I went on a wonderful retreat with some friends. And quite frankly, I wasn't sure this was ever going to happen. We're 4 busy women, and I mean, you know how I feel about that term busy, but just making the schedules of any people work was a feat in itself, and it happened finally, and it was wonderful. So I will just intersperse little bits about that as we go along. Okay, so I do have 2 finished objects today, and I never have my sock blockers. I'm not a good enough podcaster for that. But I have finished my Pseudo Hermione's Everyday Socks. Pair number 11 for 2017. This is out of Wandering Wool Skiddaw Sock. It is a tweedy, it's a BFL and nylon blend, and the nylon is the tweed. So I only did the patterning on the foot, on the leg rather, not the foot. My usual sock, you all have heard about my usual sock. You don't want to hear again, right? Oops. Oh dear, I think the dog's bringing a toy. So just as a little aside, yes, she is. I got to also visit this past week with the wonderful Laura Mahalski, who is the Knit Shift podcast, and she works nearby. She works in the city. She works for the Washington Post, and she came and visited. We had lunch together, and she met Alice, learned about the real Alice, the one who will basically be in your face kissing you violently, who is now cleaning the kitchen floor. I don't know what people without dogs do about stuff that falls on the floor. Yeah, if I have a crumb, I'll just throw it on the floor. I know she'll get it. Anyway, so those are my socks. Now my second FO is a hat I started this past weekend out of some hand spun. This is what I have left. I could make another hat. These are tiny batlings from Hobbledehoy that are spindle spun, and I spun these and plied them on our trip to Spain and France this summer. So I made the cattywampus hat out of the hand spun. I adore this hand spun. I adore this hat. It smells like my friend Sarah's hand cream that I borrowed while I was knitting it. So this is for my daughter for her birthday. It is a really fun hat to make. Look at the swirl. So it's knit flat on the bias in garter stitch, and it's kind of impossible to believe that it's going to be a hat while you're knitting it. And this is the second one of these I've made. It does have a bit of slouch to it. So yeah, the cattywampus is by Elizabeth Green Musselman. Trying to style it just how I like it. I think my daughter will really like this. It's unblocked. I think that it probably could use a block. But really, really gorgeous, 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 gorgeous yarn. Hobbledehoy, just can't go wrong with that. So it's kind of garter stitch. It's broken garter stitch. Super fun to make. Cattywampus. Those are my FOs. I need to wrap that up for her birthday, along with a few other things that she's getting. Can't believe she's 15. Right now I have a pot of chicken stock, chicken broth on the stove, and I'm going to be hand rolling noodles because this is what she gets on her birthday. It takes me forever. I made the dough yesterday, and it's an Amish style chicken and dumplings, but it's not dumplings, it's noodles. So very thin, silky, delicious hand-cut noodles made by me. So as soon as I start uploading this, that's what I'll be doing. All right, so works in progress then. I have to show you a few things. Well, I have a new sock on the needles. It's an opal yarn, opal fresh and juicy. Not sure if these will be for me or not, but this will be pair number 12. Although I still have to put recast on my pierogi socks. Those could go faster. And then I'm past the gusset on my second car sock, so it'd be nice to finish those both up before the end of the year. Let's see, this is Farba, so color 9637. That's what it's supposed to look like. I caked it up. It's terrible. It's really bad. I should redo it. Just had crazy tension issues going on. Wasn't paying attention when I caked it. Yeah, I should redo that. So it's barely cast on. Now the second cast on is going very well. It's the Starfall sweater by Jen Steingass. She of the Yokes. I have 2 sleeves, and I've cast on the body as well. So here are the sleeves. You can tell which one I've blocked, which one I haven't. Wow, the color work on this one looks much better. So those are the sleeves. They're done. The rest is going to be a breeze. I have this in my shop teasel bag with my owl. My Alice is on there. And then I'm in a tricky spot because for a few rows you are knitting with 3 colors at a time. In this color work, it is not traditional Fair Isle color work. Oh, hang on a sec. This is stuck under my computer. 1 second. There we go. So here is, that doesn't look too good. Here's the rest. Sorry about the Alice! She's making really disgusting noises. Here is the body. Looks very small. I've joined in the main color here, so I'm part of it. Looks terrible, doesn't it? But I'm very happy with how this particular bit of color work is going. So I'm using Blacker Gotland. It's a DK weight. Gorgeous gray over dyes. I also have a chocolate one that's going to go into the yoke. Again, this is the bottom hem. And then the main color is this Romney from Looped Yarnworks in DC. It's their house yarn. Rocco and Ollie is the colorway, and it's lovely. It's Romney from the Hudson Valley, which is where I was last weekend. 265 yards, really great stuff. The undyed especially is nice. Romney is on the longer side, staple-wise. So is Gotland. Gotland is a long stapled yarn, but they're quite different, these yarns. But I think they still work. I think they still work together. They work. But do they work together? Yes, I think they do. So the sleeves, knitting the sleeves was a nice little test run. And I'm very excited to get this sweater off the needles. Still so many sweaters I need to make. I have all the wool for the Birkin that I'm going to make out of Tuku wool. And then brushwork yarn is ready to go. I still don't know what I'm going to make with that. We'll see. Yes, I have other things on the needles, but this is what I'm mainly knitting right now. So let's talk about sewing. I'm looking at this. This is a new make, and I think I need to fix some of the, see the seams right here? Looking bad. Maybe I'm just being hypercritical because I'm looking at myself in the camera. It doesn't look too bad like this, but when I start to move around, you can really see the bulk and the shoulder seams, and I don't remember how I was supposed to finish it, and I'm not going to like look right now because that would be rude, but I'm very curious. This is the Toaster Sweater by Sew House 7. That's this version right here. Now I do have new fabric to make this one in acquisitions, but this particular one is a bamboo cotton. The color is not correct. There's the hem. It did a split hem. And it's super cozy. It's kind of slinky and a little clingy, but I really love it. I love the color. I love the neck. I'm going to make, as I said, the other version next time. I do wish it were a little bit less cropped. It's not super cropped. Stop it. But it is a little bit shorter than I would like. But that's easy enough to fix. Come here. Come here. Or change, I should say. It's easy enough to change. Look who's here. Give me a hug. She winks like a little pig. She went to the vet yesterday. I think she must have a note on her chart that says adorable, because she went into the exam room and 3 vet techs came in and said, "Can we visit?" Isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah. So go back to sleep. She naps all day long. She does. Okay, get down. Stop holding on to me. That was a nice little burp. Okay, off you go. So we were talking about sewing. So I am going to make the Lander pant, and I have started the process. The Lander pant is by True Bias Designs. And I don't have a picture of it because I don't have the paper pattern. I do have the PDF version, so I don't have like the envelope to show you. But if you go on Instagram, there's a tag for Lander pant. It's pretty awesome. So I've been making muslins, and yes, muslins plural. or toiles, as they say in some other places. Yeah, because pants. Making pants is pretty funny because there's a lot of trying on, so half the time I'm sewing pantsless. It's chilly, but it's funny. So here's my first muslin. I cut out the size 12. Isn't that pretty? I cut out the size 12, and I didn't do the pocket. They're really fun pockets on backs and fronts. It's a high-waisted button fly. So as I said, I cut the 12 first, and this crotch is too short, which is a common area that you need to modify. So she does show you in her sew-along, which thank goodness for sew-alongs on the internet. I would be just taking stabs in the dark constantly if it weren't for sew-alongs. And that's basically like a giant tutorial that they do in pieces. A lot of indie designers do this, and I'm very grateful for them. So long story short, the 12 is too small, and it does fit surprisingly in the hips and the butt, except for the crotch length, which was too short, as I said. But it didn't fit around the gut, and yeah. So surprisingly, to alter the crotch length, shorten it, or lengthen it, it takes like 1/8 of an inch to make a huge difference. And you can change the front piece, you can change the back piece, you can change both. And it was kind of riding up the back. It was tight in the back. So I did all 4 pieces. I changed both fronts and both backs. Obviously, you would need to change either the front or the back or both. You wouldn't want to change like the left side, not the right side. So I did a little adjustment as recommended, and I also cut out the larger size, the 14. So, oh, and it's funny, the way you can tell, I mean, it's pretty obvious if the crotch length is not right, but if it's too short, you get lines that come up like a smile. If it's too long, you get lines that come down like a frown. It's kind of funny. Again, I find making pants very funny. So I cut out the 14, and I also must have cut the waistband incorrectly on that one. I was a little worried that there was something wrong with the pattern, but it's fine. It's fine on the 14. It must have been me doing something strange in the cutting. So yeah, I took the waistband off of this one because I had to adjust the side seams. So the crotch length is better. Isn't that fun? This is my second muslin. Yes, and I am never going to wear it. So I'm also making short lengths instead of pant lengths for obvious reasons. You just, kind of go over your harder to fit areas, and then the length is a piece of cake. You can adjust that easily. So yeah, the crotch length, really good. The difference of 1/8 of an inch in the back and the front. So I guess that would equal 1/4 or 1/2 inch. Not sure how you'd add it all up if it's 4 pieces. So that's great. And she has you do the side seams, sew them at 1 inch seam allowance, baste them rather, and then try on and go from there. And you can take it down. I think the seam allowances on this are 1/2 inch. So I sewed them at 1 inch, and it was still a little tight in this area, the fly area. So I left the seam allowance at 1 inch from about 11 inches from the top down, and then I made the seam allowance smaller as I went up. And that means I have extra room to make this area close better. So I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to cut out the fabric for it, which is this chocolate brown. This is very purple on the camera. This color's not right either. This is definitely a chocolate brown. Oops. So that's what's been going on, machine sewing and pattern making. Not pattern making, machine sewing. But I have been hand sewing a garment, and you probably remember my Alabama Shannon panel. I have one of them done for the A-line skirt, although I don't know if this is the A-line or the swing skirt. It's one of them. So this was totally hand stitched by me, and you can see my stitches are really, really just close together and tiny. So I took another panel on my weekend with me, and what I did is I went by train and was picked up in Newark, New Jersey. Went by train from DC, Union Station. Was picked up by Sarah Pomegranate, and we drove the rest of the way to the Hudson Valley. And we met Claire of the Woolly Thistle and Sarah from Fiber Trek. We rented a cabin, a remote cabin for the weekend. Oh, it was pretty remote. I'm sure Sarah from Fiber Trek wouldn't call it that because her home is quite remote. But for a city girl, it was remote. Anyway, speaking of Fiber Trek Sarah, I have so many friends named Sarah, I have to distinguish between them somehow. She loves stitching, and she is gifted. And look at the difference in her stitching. Most of this part here is her stitching. Now I've been inspired, and I'm trying to copy the way she stitches. So my stitches are longer than they were on that first panel, and a little bit further apart. So Sarah just kind of went to town on this. So you can see that these have already been cut out. This is a reverse applique technique. These have yet to be cut out. See, I'm still stitching this one. So I've painted and stenciled these. It's a double layer of jersey. So you cut out what's already been stitched. You cut out the center, and you get this really beautiful effect. I think it's beautiful. I'm anxious to wear this skirt. So look at that. I have 1.5 panels. I should aim to finish this weekend, and then I can have half of the skirt done. Here's the rest of it. It's all painted. And I could get it done. I could definitely get it done by Christmas. Or sooner. It'd be nice to wear for the holidays. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting texts, funny texts from my friends here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm on to acquisitions and chatting a little bit more about the weekend, I guess, as I go through them. But let me show you a few fabric acquisitions that were waiting for me when I got home. So I mentioned I want to make another toaster sweater, the pink one here, although that version, it's not going to be pink. And the blue version, the one I'm wearing, uses sort of a drapier fabric, and the other version with more of a funnel neck, a stand-up funnel neck, uses, stop, scratching my socks. It uses a stiffer or heavier weight fabric, a different type. So look at this. This is a sweatshirt fabric, and this interior is so cozy. So I'm going to make, I think, a very useful garment here. What did I want to say? So that's going to be toaster sweater number 2. And then I succumbed. I needed to get enough for free shipping, or I bought this fabric. Oh, goodness. So I got mustard corduroy. And I think this is 21 wale. I can't remember. That might be wrong. And that's how you measure how close together the cords are. So they're pretty fine, which I think will give it enough drape to be a Hollyburn skirt. And that was my original thought when I was at Stitch Sew Shop. But the clerk told me that the mustard cord that they have would be too stiff for that skirt. It wouldn't drape well. Maybe it was stiffer than this, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. I think it'll work all right. And then I had the Archer shirt pattern from, Grainline Studio, I think. And the Grainline Studio block, I think, which is basically like the measurements that they work from when they develop a pattern. It's a new word to me, block. it just suits me very well. I've really, all the things I've made from them, bar the Scout tee, which just kind of hangs like a sack on me, but everything else I've made from them really suits me. So I have the Archer shirt to do out of this. And this is a cotton, gosh, I can't remember the exact name of the fabric. It's 100% cotton. I think it's a Robert Kaufman. Oh, it's a chambray. That's what it is. I've been saving the receipts that I get when I buy fabric, either from a store or online, and I'm compiling them. That way I can go back and look at exactly what the fabric was and how much I have of it. So I have a bit of a dilemma with this one. It's a button-down white shirt, which if I ever, and I know I will, when I fix my Fair Isle vest, I want to wear this under it. I want to say thank you briefly. Let's say thank you. I was despairing when I recorded last time about what to do, and I never expected to get so many amazing suggestions. I should have known better. But almost immediately, people were super helpful, just helped me process options and gave me ideas that I probably never would have had on my own. And now I'm spoiled for choice. I don't know how to go about fixing that, just because there are so many good options. And I'll think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll look at another option and think, no, but this might be better. So I'm going to ruminate on it a bit further, and I'll talk about it more. Yes, it does fit everywhere else. I know someone asked that. The only fitting issue is the shoulders. It does fit everywhere else, and I was tempted to put sleeves on it and turn it into a sleeve sweater, but because it's a vest, it's very fitted, and it's meant to be like that. There's no positive ease, rather. Anyway, so this will potentially be a shirt that goes under it, or that I would just wear in general. But I'm considering, I got this from fabric.com, and I'm considering complaining. I thought this was interesting. I've never seen this face side, because this is one of these fabrics where it's really hard to tell which is the right side. There are a couple small stains, but they're by the selvages in general, so I'm not fussed about it. However, let me see if I can find, there is a pulled warp thread. I think it's a warp thread. Here it is. Yep, it's a warp thread. Do you see that? It's right there. Yeah, I mean, I haven't cut out the pattern pieces yet, so I don't know if I'll need to use this piece. I don't know if I should make a fuss about it. I have no problems making a fuss about it, but just wondering, I'll make a fuss, no big deal. But I'm just wondering if anyone has dealt with returns on cut fabric from fabric.com. Let me know if you have. Let me know what you think if you've had issues with fabric. Usually if I'm getting fabric cut, it's in front of me, I'll inspect it as I go. But you don't get that luxury online. This is the first time I've had an issue with it, with anything from fabric.com. So, let me tell you about some other acquisitions from this amazing weekend I had. We just kind of cloistered ourselves in this cabin and around this cabin. There were some beautiful waterfalls incredibly nearby. We didn't even go outside that much. It snowed a little bit one day. We mainly just stayed inside. We crafted, we cooked, we ate, we listened to music, and we talked. And it was kind of the perfect retreat. And I just, having that time with like-minded friends is invaluable. So yes, there were some gifts given, and I got this from Claire. We all got this from Claire. This is the Woods publication. There's some really great patterns in here. Oh, one other thing we did was we all brought knitwear to try on. We all tried on each other's knitwear. Did I say we tried on each other's knitwear? It's a beautiful cabled pullover. There is this other one that I would make. This, oh my goodness. So it's a dress slash tunic. And let me just say though, I really want to make the Bresse or Bressa dress by Gudrun Johnston. Sarah Pomegranate has this dress. I think she's made 2 of them. And that thing was amazing. It's a colorwork yoke, and she used Eloise from our Fleecewise project in the yoke. Naturally dyed, I believe, and just knit her own colorwork patterns. It was glorious, and it looked good on everybody. And she has said on her podcast, Yarns at Yin-Hu, that everyone needs one. And I kind of think everyone does need one. And I do need one. So there's another project I need to think about. Claire also gave us the tote bag, as well as some really good needles. As well as this. This is, what is this called? A slubbing cake from Uist Wool in one of the Hebrides. I can't remember if it's inner or outer, but Uist Wool, U-I-S-T. And this is like Clotu Lopi. It's unspun. It's, I can't remember if it's this a Cheviot blend or Hebridean. Maybe it's both. Isn't that fun? So maybe I will knit, it's very soft. Maybe I will knit without spinning it. I could spin it. Be a good hat. So wonderful stuff. And then I'm not someone who has the gift of presentation, nice presentation. But let me tell you, Sarah Pomegranate has it. So these are a few things that she compiled. She made rust-dyed bento bags. That was one thing. And I've had all my little goodies in there. She made bracelets based on all of our measurements and fabric scraps that we had sent her. I think this is something I made years ago. This is Anna Maria Horner fabric. And I think the pattern for these bracelets is in the Lotte Jansdottir book. Fits perfectly. And so I have little bracelets made out of fabric scraps from everybody. I love this blue one too. How lovely is that? She also sent, or put in a little felted acorn, as well as this, which is another little acorn pin cushion. I've been using this quite a bit when I've been sewing. Just put little pins on there. I'm a little worried I'm going to poke myself, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Very useful and lovely. Now, this is, I believe, is from Brooklyn Haberdashery, and she got it at Rhinebeck. I love this too. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. This fabric was something I sent her. But she's put together these scraps for, now I can't remember the name of this, but see the thread? It's a style of, okay, I can't say anything intelligent about this, but you make a thing with it. I will look it up. There's the Brooklyn Haberdashery card. Oh, this is another bobbin for thread. And she put some little goodies, hand creams and stuff. And then this is Brooklyn Mojo, hand-printed textiles. Let's just open this one up. This one looks very, almost Polynesian. Ooh, gorgeous little fat quarter. Play with that. And then Sarah Fibertrek brought the makings for Sami bracelets. So the Sami people live in Lapland, which is in Finland, very, very north. And I have to say, I was like the worst pupil in this Sami bracelet making class. But I have something that's ready to go. So we braided tin wire. Look how wonky that is. I can't even sew straight. We braided tin wire, then we had to sew it with fishing twine, which blew my mind and like frustrated me a lot. We had to sew it onto this reindeer. I don't know if this is reindeer hide, but traditionally that's what you use. I do know that this is reindeer horn button. tiny. So what I have to do now is attach the button loop and then do a baseball stitch to close this up. And basically, it's going to look like this, but round. So you're just going to sort of see the tin braid on the top. So I don't think it's a huge deal that it's not straight. But I need to go on YouTube and watch Disa's Craftwork to figure out how to do the rest of that. But that was fun, very fun. So I highly recommend, if you can get away with your woolly friends, A+. A change of scenery is sometimes what you need. It's what I needed, for sure. I think that's it. My chicken soup smells amazing. I need to wrap a present or two for my 15-year-old. Take the dog for a walk and start the noodles. So if you want to take a look at the botanically printed bags, don't forget thewoollythistle.com. And I know I'm forgetting stuff. I always forget stuff. But I hope you're very well. Until next time, take care.